before this series was Oklahoma City. I think Oklahoma City right now should be the favorites to win the championship. I don't know if Brew disagrees with me there, but I do feel that way. I felt that way going into this round. But of course they can win, and I'm in awe of Joker. And I can be late to the party, but I showed up, and his calm and total mastery over these end of game situations, it's just brilliant. And he got a mismatch when they were down 6. I forget who he backed down. Got a little got a little 5-footer, and he had to be careful because he had 5 fouls. He's playing with 5 fouls, and you've seen Joker sometimes turn the shoulder and pick up the offensive foul, particularly on a smaller guy.
Or concuss, you know.
Right.
Was that Lou Dort?
Yeah, Lou Dort.
Yeah.
He gets it. He gets the basket. Next time down, Hartenstein is doing this in his face, trying to get him not to shoot. Joker surveys, waits, everything, bangs the 3. And then this is where I want to really give him credit, and it's such a small thing. So he came back in despite having 5 fouls to guard the inbounder. And if we play it,
I've never seen him jump like that.
So it's this,
career.
and then watch. It's this. So I've never seen him do it either, and I'm going to postulate something. I think he's one of the only alpha-level super-duper stars who would do that because it looks so goofy. And I think this is like a first cousin of, why don't guys do the Rick Barry underhand free throws? And the answer is because, yes, we're trying to win, but we want to look a certain way doing it. And I have such massive respect for Joker. Just being like, no, this actually gives us like almost a high school team-esque edge in that it'll throw them off a bit. We don't want the ball to go to SGA. We want it to go anywhere else. And by the way, where it went, the guy missed both free throws. So I just give the guy massive credit. And by the way, he had 40, 20, and 6. And so yeah, so they can win because of him.
No, that's a good point about the jumping around. I mean, some of the other stars would look a little cooler doing it, but I agree. They probably
be like, no, I'm not doing
exactly.
that.
Yeah, they can definitely win this series. Look, I'm not emotionally invested in this series with one team or the other. I'm not going to be brushing off the shoulders if my team wins, but I'm excited about it because it's just great basketball. I really want to watch it and see who wins. But I feel like right now I'll pick Denver.
Wow,
like
really?
I do think
I knew
you
don't trust youth.
We saw some of the youth yesterday.
That's right.
I mean, the second and third option, that's been a big question. We know they got one awesome superstar in Shea. Right, he played great, 33 points. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren combined to go
Jalen was 5 of 20.
10 for 31 combined. Your second and third options go 10 for 31 combined. They go 2 for 12 from 3. So, and Chet's a 75% foul shooter. That's not awesome, but to miss both, that feels like it was nerves. And beyond that, even though OKC is tall, they ain't sturdy. I mean, Jokic is going through them like a bowling ball. Like Isaiah Hartenstein, with all due respect, he's a good player. He's your enforcer? Really? I mean, Lou Dort's 6'4".
Lou Dort's your enforcer,
but he's 6'4".
6'4", yeah.
I mean, Chet Holmgren, they don't have a prayer of stopping Jokic. He's got a mismatch everywhere he looks. One of their small, great defenders, Caruso, Dort, just back him down. One of these big boys, man, I'm going right through them. So, and Aaron Gordon was the same way, 22 and 14. Yeah. So, I won't be surprised if OKC wins this, but I think they have a fight on their hands. And I'll pick Denver right now.
Jokic first.
Okay, that is the story right there. I mean, listen, Bruce said that he's not going to, dust the shoulders off. I will, because they were all having the panic. I remember in the final, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 game, whatever the final official number was with the Nuggets, everybody was sounding the alarm, and I kept saying, I do not care how this team plays without Jamal Murray. It means nothing to me, right? Like everybody was like, oh my God, this is a disaster. The Nuggets, they're firing their coach. And I'm just like, I get it and all of that. But like, it was the decision that they believed was going to be, that was going to put this team in the best position to succeed. And, you know, this team was playing without Jamal Murray. If Jamal Murray is on the court in the playoffs, then how they look without him means nothing to me. Even if they got blown out by 80 points a game, it would mean nothing to me. Because it's like, that's how basketball is. It is brutally impossible to win games when you're not actually fully complete and when you're missing one of your key star players. You know, can you win a couple games here and there? Can you find ways for, of course, but like consistently no one in the playoffs, no. So, you know, this team was always going to be significantly better with Jamal Murray in the playoffs compared to the games when they kind of, you know, started to fall apart a little bit, when they were kind of, you know, trending downward. And everybody was like, oh, this is such a big deal. This is such a problem. And it was like, I get it. You know, we all want to like crank up the intensity of these moments and act like the regular season matters. But dude, you can't fool fans. You can't fool people who watch these games. Like, it just doesn't matter. I mean, it just doesn't. The regular season just doesn't matter. The name of the game, honestly, it doesn't even matter home court advantage, as the Nuggets just showed, as the Warriors showed. Like, you know, it doesn't matter if you're the 1 seed, the 6 seed. Like, it really doesn't matter, especially because, like, you got to play the good teams sooner than later, rather than later. You're going to have to play the Thunder or the Rockets, you know, the 1 and 2 seed. Like, sure, a team can get clipped early on, and that can kind of benefit you. But, like, if you're just trying to, like, survive the playoffs, then, yeah, it's, like, better to be like, oh, well, hopefully someone can beat the Thunder before we have to play them. Like, yeah, that's technically true. But, like, if you're actually a legitimate contender, well, then you got to play these great teams anyway. And you're either great and can win or you can't. So, like, it's just the name of the game is get in the playoffs, be healthy. There you go. And the Thunder are proving that. The Warriors are proving that. You know, quite frankly, the two most experienced teams right now. You can make the argument of the Celtics as well. But, like, you know, I want to see what else the Celtics can do. I think the Celtics have to kind of prove that they deserve to really be in this, like, hey, we won a ring and then we won again, or we got back there again. Like, they kind of have to prove that. The Warriors obviously are the most, considering, you know, Steph and Draymond specifically, and Steve Kerr for that matter. But why that would be a fascinating Western Conference Finals, Warriors versus Nuggets, because then you really have experience on experience, champions on champions, like that. Like that's an exciting matchup. And the Nuggets would actually have home. I think regardless, they would have home court advantage. Because I think the Timberwolves are the 6th seed. So that would, obviously the Nuggets are rooting for that then, or I guess, you know, whatever. But you know, this win, it's like even the question, right? Buying Denver can win series. Yes. Right? It's like, how is that even the question? I get, like, you need a question to, like, lead into the conversation, but it's like, of course. Who could say no to that question, right? That's a layup. Like, yeah, of course. And like I said in my previous video for the Herd, this game 2 is everything for the Thunder. Everything for the Thunder. Truly everything. If they lose game 2, then I believe that it could just be a clean sweep. I really, really believe that. If the Thunder win this game and can really have a legitimate bounce back and really kind of establish, like, ideally for the Thunder, it's not even that close of a game, like not like final second game, like, you know, winning by 8, just one of those games where, like, you're clearly in control, even if the final score ends up a little bit closer just because of free throws and just random shots at the end. But if the Thunder, like, actually establish themselves of like, whoa. No. We're the number 1 seed and the front runner for a reason. But, like, anything shy of that, it's like, even if they just eke out another win, it's another tough, really close, like, back and forth. Then I see the series going to, like, 7, you know? But if not, it's like, Nuggets, man. Nuggets. And then at that point, it's like, well, then, you know, of course the Nuggets can win it all. I mean, they have the experience. They have the physicality. They have the speed. They have the strength. They have the versatility. They are obviously Jokic reliant, but other players can still step up and make big plays. And, you know, when Jokic airballs, you have an Aaron Gordon just catch it and, you know, dunk it, right? You know, when Westbrook looks like he might take a wild layup, nope. This is not 2012. He dishes it out to a wide open Aaron Gordon, who's having himself a year so far, knocking down the shot. I mean, they're playing winning basketball, and they're playing team basketball, and this team believes in themselves. And that's also the thing. They win this next game. If they go 2-0 on the road against the number 1 seed, oh man, the momentum and the belief that this team is going to have, they already have a lot of belief in them, because they obviously have won, right? So you're gonna have that belief, but you still need to kind of you still kind of have to recharge that belief. Doubt still creeps in, right? You're like, okay, we won before, and I know I can do it, but can we do it this year? You go up 2-0, you're like, this ring is ours to lose. That's what it becomes. You're not just trying to salvage the season or just try to be competitive or try to prove that you can, you were better than your head coach maybe believed you. And you also kind of want to prove, see, the head coach was the problem, not us, not me. There's still very much of that aspect involved with all of this. So you go up 2-0, you are now being like, we are the champions. This is our ring to lose, our title to lose. It goes through us. Literally, especially because if you now win, now it will go through you because you'll be the higher seed. You'll be the highest seed. And then, who knows? Are you playing the Celtics? Are you playing the Knicks? Are you playing the Pacers, right? The Nuggets versus the Knicks? The Nuggets versus the Pacers? I mean, I like those odds. But again, obviously you would have to get past, first off, you have to get past the Thunder, and then you'd have to get past the Warriors or the Timberwolves, which either of those teams, I think it would be a pretty fun rematch for the Timberwolves as well. Basketball's in great shape right now with these 4 teams. I think no matter who ends up playing each other, it's going to be a really exciting matchup, although it does feel like the Nuggets would bring a lot more energy and star power to it. And again, I think Nuggets versus Warriors or Nuggets versus Timberwolves would be wildly exciting. But you get through there, I think really only the Celtics give you your hardest battle. So it's if you survive the West, and if you're lucky enough to not have to, and it's not to say that you can't beat the Celtics, because of course you can, but it's just I assume if the Celtics get to the finals, they'll be the the front runners to win if it's against a team like the Nuggets. But anyone else, then I feel like the Nuggets would be favored to win. So it's just there's a lot at play here. There's definitely a lot at play here, and I think game 2 is really going to show us what type of series we're going to get for the long haul, right? Is it going to be a 4-game series, or is it going to be a 7-game series? That's up to game 2. And I'm excited to find out. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Nuggets? Are you buying that they can win the series? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.